I just want to make a video. I figured I could make this one and send it to my kids and my beloved ex, who I'm not sure in anything. I have no idea where she's at. Hopefully she's not in jail. I do not want her to be in jail. I don't want anything bad for her. This song played in a video I made in high school when I started doing animation using little soldiers and stuff. It was exciting, but this was the same song. So I like old rock. What can you do? Turn it down. A couple of topics I wanted to bring up. Really been getting into this orgonite making stuff. And on that note, see, I have some old monsters from in the 90s, whenever I was in middle school. They were monsters in my pocket, which is pretty much what Pokemon is. But these monsters had some of the most fearsome, old, ancient names of spirits. I just don't think you should dig up demonic things like that all the time and put them in kids' pockets in the form of a toy. It's not acceptable. It's not good. But anyway, I had a lot of these. I collected them, and my mom had them bagged up, and whenever I went to help clean up from the Harvey flood, I'd found that she had them in a bag, and I'd brought them here, given some of them out. Some of them I've had to cut apart, and but knowing what their names were and knowing the connections after all these years, I found a use for them, be it good or bad. If it was a very, like, Astaroth was one, that's Ishtar. For a man that's feeling he's had anything to do with succubuses or anything like that, Ishtar, being this big spider, one of the glow-in-the-dark ones, was kind of a big deal. But it is no longer with us. Some of the rare and probably highly valued ones, I've given them away. Some I've kept. Some are isolated, and they will never have contact with the outside world ever again, depending upon their malevolence and what the books and what the old resonating gut says. But this one, see, I had one that was like my alter ego, Snickle Fritz. As I've said before, my alter ego is Snickle Fritz. He has the Snickle Stick. Count 'em. One top hat. This one I usually wear with this because, after a amount of time, I usually tear shit up. It's just the way I am. Especially, I like to repurpose. I like to make stuff. Maybe I'm just destructive. I'm destructive. And the pocket watch. The pocket watch is mighty. Now, my son Drake, I like him to see this. Coming to see him one year, I had picked up at a Ross a Jesse James pocket watch, and he had the same one, and we switched out. And that was one of those examples of one of those miraculous things that happens, because his mom had got it for me when we were not talking. So it's just one of those things, really cool. But stuff like that happens a lot in my life, and even more now, more and more and more and more and more. But this is a blue diamond. Now, Christina is my ex-wife, and I very much feel still in my heart that I'm married to this lady. And she's had a rough life. And we fought. I've beaten her up, and I feel bad about that, because I try not to hurt anybody. But I did. We fought. We did dumb things. But I still love her. I grew up with her, though. And it's just sad because I don't even get to talk to her. I would want to be her friend. But, I don't know, different type of person than me. I guess it's not going to happen. But she told me she was a blue diamond. Now, I have always thought that she had suffered a little bit from the MK Ultra. I know that I did, because I had a lot of these programs running and I had to turn them off. I had to learn some stuff, and once you learn and come awake, it seems to be that you're a targeted individual because you're no longer going with the program. I tried to come to Houston and get a job, and it was just going to be sweeping the parking lot during the nighttime with my friend Jeremy Cavazos, who I first started doing sheet metal work with years ago. And I did not pass the background check. But when I came back to Bastrop here, I worked at the Army base in San Antonio. So what the hell? It seemed as if they wanted me here. Well, now I feel that I'm supposed to be here, and I don't make that much money. My dad had lost his larynx a couple years back. He got cancer, and he almost died a couple times. And I'm paid to do the stuff around the house, stuff I already do, you know, and I'll probably be with him when he dies. He's not like almost dead, but you know, he goes ups and downs, you know, but I know that I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here for him. I'm his only son, and I'm going to do that. So sometimes I don't feel like I have all that I need to have, or I can do all that I need to, but I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, you know, and I kind of feel like I've let my kids down, because although we don't talk, I've seen them once, they've come here. I greatly love them, and I want to have a communication with them all the time, but I'm getting sidetracked. She said she was a blue diamond. I took one of those monsters. There was one that was a voodoo guy. He looked like a Snickle Fritz. It was the top hat. He was an extra Series 2 monster, whatever, but I had two of them. One I gave away to a good friend of mine, Brandon, and the last one I put in here with the Lamia. The Lamia is like Lilith, and I had that one cut in two. But of all the places and things that it went around, it was here, it was there. I did different stuff with it, but I finally put all those pieces, and those are like symbols of our broken parts, our, you know, not good sides, but cast off and then put back together. And I made this with the intent and the healing for her, you know what I mean, when I see it. So it's, you know, it's for her healing. I have had some very wonderful manifestations since I've been making this stuff and utilizing, you know, Grail Knight principles, like utilizing the ley lines, lining things up, you know. I'm not really a math person, but I really like that. Take the globe, get the ley lines, see that it's a actual crystal. And we're basically one of these. Just like, what's his name? Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey said. Jim Carrey probably eats babies. So, this, my Merkaba, my star Merkaba that I made, it's been beat all to hell but it's very wonderful and powerful. Especially in tandem use with, where is it at? Well, the Ankh. The Ankh is a very powerful tool. There's a lot you can do if you know sympathetic magic, the way energy flows. And I've taken some Reiki, so being able to pull in and send out energy without mixing my crap into it, it's been a big deal. It's been something I want to do. But I want Gaius, and I want Gaius. You're my middle son. I have another son. I've never met him. I have Gavin. I've only heard about him, but I can look at him and tell he's my baby. It was from Mrs. Amy Webb. And I feel good about it. She didn't want to get the courts involved, didn't want to do all this. You know, I don't want to get the courts involved either. If she brings them, I'll get to see them, but I'll let that be her choice. I don't want to interfere with her life. She's a different type of person, and I'm trying to respect that. But I really do miss Christina. I really do miss you, Drake, and Gaius. You and your little animals. Man, do you know, all those little animals, your Sonic the Hedgehog and all those things that you brought, he had like 5 animals, and he told me, he's like, these two can't talk because they're divorced. There was such wisdom in this child's interaction with his animals, and I watched it. And my son Drake, you cut the tree out there, you beat the hell out of it with the axe, and that's where I've got the big rock from the, I've been doing stuff out there. It's like it's a very sacred place to me now, just from those energies. But I wanted to share that, so I put this on my weird ass channel, and that's all.